'Cause you won't look after my wounds. I suppose you will never regret it. I should pull myself out from now. 'Cause you fucking love it when I fade. 'Cause you won't look after my wounds. I suppose you will never regret it. I should pull myself out from now. 'Cause you fucking love it when I fade.
The year is 1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony, until one day a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
You've been knocked down and got up again. In a corner, you're surrounded, no defenders. You've hid your fury and kept it in. But it's time now, you ignite and turn to embers. Like a phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes.
Get ready for verse 2, Electric Boogaloo.
You see the truth behind the veil, and you know that they're just looking for attention. Oh, you don't let their ruthlessness prevail. Oh, it's time now, light your fires for ascension. Like a phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. They let you down, but you get up. They let you drown, but you don't stop. You show 'em you're a phoenix. Phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes.
what's your life? Tell me what's your life? Go! Tell me what's your life? Go!
Hi there, amazing people. This is Astha Tiwari. Welcome back to another podcast of Witera Influence Academy. Today we are having with us Mr. Sai Sethu. Let me brief you about this fantastic person first. So, he is one of the legendary content creators in the recent content creation generation. So, Mr. Sai Sethu is an independent content creator and he creates
अरे
videos
भाई
about
ओए
stories
इनकी
that are the hidden
वो
gems of
नहीं आ
India.
रही ग्रेड सही नहीं
The
बन रही है
idea is inform, inspire, and leave an impact on every viewer who watches the videos he brings to life. So, a teeny tiny suggestion here take notes, guys, because now we are starting off with our podcast with one of the most amazing content creators of our generation. And do not forget to check out his content, especially on Instagram. So, also, please take care of yourself amid the pandemic. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe with Terra. Stay tuned till the end. Now, Sai, would you like to give a brief introduction about yourself first?
Sure. Thank you so much for having me, everybody else in your team, and Asta. I'm so honored to be here. My name is Sai Sethu. I'm from Coimbatore, which is a city in Tamil Nadu in India. And I'm a mechanical engineer turned news journalist turned full-time content creator. I right now travel across India and I make videos on ordinary Indians with extraordinary stories, very awe-inspiring and fascinating villages, and very innovative ideas, very powerful ideas that can really change the way we can live and that we can think as a society. So yeah, to sum it up, I make short videos that are based on people, places, ideas, and my aim is to, like you said, is to inform, inspire, and have an impact on people who get to watch my videos.
Yeah, correct. Personally, I love your content. I watch it almost every now and then, and recently I've seen a lot of videos, and trust me, I was really inspired.
Thank
So
you.
anyway,
I'm glad.
Yeah, coming up with the questions, let's start off with a questionnaire. If everything is looking good, then our first question to you would be: when did you first start off this amazing journey, and what inspired you to be such an amazing influencer?
Okay. First, I wouldn't call myself an influencer as such because that name has extrapolated into so many other meanings in this generation. So I would just call myself a storyteller or a journalist or a content creator. I'd prefer that term, and it's completely fine that you call me an influencer. But yeah, when you change the definition of what I try to do, you also change the dialogue. Language plays a big role, and that's why I told you that. And getting back to your question, that is when I started was about exactly 2 years ago, in June 2019. I was a mainstream journalist. I was working in a couple of news channels, India Today and The Quint, for about 2 to 3 years. And I was just extremely bored. And, mainstream media is really not what media is supposed to be. It's not a voice for the people. And so I wanted to do something with a real impact. I wanted to do something where I can tell stories about people who are often ignored or often overshadowed and sidelined by mainstream media, and that we really require, one, to really learn from them and move forward, and two, to move forward as a society in terms of thought and in terms of so that's basically it. And I started 2 years ago. 2 years ago. And what inspired me? You asked me what inspired me.
What inspired you?
Of course, the people of India. To sum it up, I always would see such great stories that nobody's talking about, and I always just think about how and why nobody gives a chance or a platform for these incredible people and places to tell their stories. And of course, another person is Nas Daily. I think all of you know Nas Daily, and I saw the impact he had in the whole world. So I wanted to recreate that in India because India is a world of its own, and we have so many umpteen thousands of stories here. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Nas Daily was the key, ignition to my journey.
Okay. Okay, so if I'm not wrong, you cover all kinds of stories, right? Some may be ecstatic, some might be sad as well. So, with sensitive stories, how do you keep up with the positivity all the time?
That's a good question. Of course, all the stories are of multiple genres, right? They're all different people. They all come from different backgrounds. They all come from different parts of society. Some come from marginalized parts of society. So, as a storyteller, when you go and film, when I go and film, you first spend the first half an hour, 45 minutes, getting to really understand their environment, their vicinity, their culture, and getting into their comfort zone. It takes a lot of time. These people come from very remote parts of India, and not many people really open up very easily. You really have to crack the ice. You really have to lay a ground before they start telling their story to you. It's not at all
Yeah,
easy,
correct.
and so you have to create that environment and that comfort zone before they start telling you
Yeah,
their story. And yeah, and it's very challenging for sure. And they're all sensitive. They all start doing what they do because they've gone through something in life or because they have a certain story. So you have to be sensitive to their story. It's yeah, a thumb rule for being a journalist or yeah, of
you
any
have
kind
to
of
connect
storyteller.
mostly. Yeah,
Yes, yes, you have to connect with them. There's no choice. And whether you do it in a sensitive way or not, you have to connect with them if you want the information that you're looking for. And if you want to derive the story in a way that you want to tell, then and if you want them to tell that, that means you have to create a comfort zone and you have to be sensitive. There's no
yeah,
other way to do it.
exactly. So, while uncovering stories from India, was there ever a situation where experienced linguistic barrier?
Yes, of course. Like you know how diverse and how like in a few kilometers the language changes in our country, right?
Yeah,
It's so
exactly.
different. We have like 700 or 750 recognized official languages in India, and it's crazy because I just know the South Indian languages well. I know Hindi because I was in Delhi for 2 3 years.
Okay.
So Hindi is a main language that it's true. I mean, it should be the national language because it's the most
Yeah,
recognized and spoken language. So if you want to survive in different parts of the country, Hindi is the trick. So because of Hindi, I can survive. But of course, there are language barriers. But it's part of the job, right? If you
yeah,
want to tell
correct.
the story, whatever barriers you have in front of you, you just have to, yeah, push it away and get into the story. That's it. That's how I see it. It does not matter how
Okay.
far away they are. It does not matter if they understand your language. That does not matter. We all watch movies where we don't understand the language, right? So it's as simple as
Yeah,
that.
we
You
use
watch it.
subtitles.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
correct.
Yep.
So, which is
So
the
you want,
particular language you're most comfortable with?
of course, English. English would be the most comfortable language, and Tamil, and I speak Telugu because it's my mother tongue. I understand a little bit of Malayalam as well, but
Wow.
because it's very closely inclined towards Tamil, and lots of my friends are from Kerala. But Hindi also because of on the ground and because I was working in mainstream media in New Delhi, so I had to learn the language. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so great that you are well acquainted with so many languages. That's really impressive.
It's but that's
Part of the
something
job,
that
but yeah, quite impressive.
thank you. But don't you think that's
Yeah,
like all Indians? Like we're all multilingual fundamentally. That's the beauty of being Indian, don't you think? Like I'm sure even you
yeah,
know three
exactly.
languages.
Correct. So,
Yeah.
what are some contrasting beliefs that you have come across while
English
covering
would be the most
diverse
comfortable language,
stories
and
till now?
Tamil, and I speak Telugu because it's
Very
my mother
interesting
tongue.
question.
I understand
So
a
you
little bit
mean
of
like
Malayalam
what
as
we
well,
think generally
but
as a
Wow.
because of
stereotype
what
is
I
very
Yeah.
see
closely
that is
connected
different,
with
right? That's
Tamil
what you're
and
trying to ask
The
me.
contrast in between, yes.
Uh, Contrasting beliefs. Ah, some I'll tell you, but very
Okay.
specific. The people in villages are extremely friendly. We might think that they don't have that much exposure. They may not be that
Yeah.
open-minded. So one contrasting belief that I've experienced over and over again is that they're extremely open-minded. They're very inviting to people from anywhere, and yeah, that's a contrasting belief. They may not be the most well-educated in terms of paper, but they're good people. Like they
Yeah.
genuinely
They're very
respect you, and
welcoming. Yeah.
yes, yeah, and they're all open towards the idea of education. Lots of people believe that they don't want to be educated, but the truth is, if they given an opportunity, they're all open towards education, and that is one thing. And the people, another thing, the people of the Northeast. especially when I went to Meghalaya. I realized that they're all super progressive in terms of mindset, and lots of cultures and traditions are probably more progressive in than modern India, like than urban India, like than modern world itself. Like the villages in and Meghalaya as such is a matrilineal society. What I mean is that it's a woman dominated society. It's more matriarchal. It's not patriarchal.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
the women have the power over there. The assets go to the women. So yeah, that is a very contrasting thing I saw. And yeah, nothing. These are the two things in the top of my head.
Yeah, but I've never been to Meghalaya myself, but
You
the way
should.
you were telling it, like, I am already feeling like I'm already, listening to you and thinking that I'm already acquainted.
Yeah, you should go there. Everybody should go to the Northeast.
Yeah.
They all feel very less like how the general idea is that the people of the Northeast feel very overshadowed by the rest of the country. It's true. They all feel like they're outsiders and they don't feel part of the country. And yeah, that is something we failed as an Indian nation. We focus more on the main states and the main cities, and we ignore the beautiful part of the country, which is in the Northeast. So yeah,
Okay.
that is something we can all learn from and change.
Wow. So I just want to ask you one more thing. Have you ever witnessed a situation wherein, some stories have left you baffled and, you questioned your own beliefs?
So
Have there ever
many
been
like
such situation?
yeah, so many like there are such unique stories that we've seen, right? Like, and I'll just be thinking like I can't believe people have dedicated their lives to doing something like this. Like it's crazy what they believe in and what they pursue, and they just so many of these stories are evidence and testimonial to determination, to self belief, and to doing what they do, irrespective of what everybody else has to say, whether they like it or not. So they all like do what they do, irrespective of whether they like, I mean, whether others approve of it or whether society approves of it. They all do it because they believe in it, and they all do it because they believe in the meaning that is involved in it. They believe in the idea of change. So I'm often like, I come from a place where that's not the case in urban India, right? You're always asked to pursue stuff because you want to earn money,
Yeah.
because you want to survive, you want to live a material life. All that, yes, fantastic, but
We're always living by the roadmap.
yeah, these people go way out of the line and earn money and live a great life and live a meaningful life, and they check all of those boxes, and they change people's lives in their journey as well. I mean, that's the best part. It's not just about them. It's about their community. It's about their society. It's about the people around them. And yeah, I mean, so many of these stories are crazy. You just go there and you're just like, are you guys for real?
So would you like to
Did you?
share any particular
Yeah,
story with us?
yeah. I mean, one of it is like the Charlie Chaplin village. I don't know if you saw that
Yeah,
video.
I saw that one. I saw that one.
Yeah, that was crazy. Like the fact that Charlie Chaplin lived 100 years before, I mean, he passed away 40, 50 years. And he's a comic trend that, people of the baby boomers generation relate to, right?
Yeah.
But here
Yeah,
is an
correct.
entire village that is dressing up like him, that is, taking forward his comedy, his meaning, and his envisioning his actions for
Yeah,
the future, and trying to spread happiness and joy through him, someone of another nationality. So
exactly.
yeah, that is one, and the other is at the top of my head, there was this girl called Hemanti Sen in Mumbai who
Okay.
teaches 15 to 20 kids on a railway track in Borivali station. Okay, she's just like, she sits on the railway station and she teaches 25 to 30 kids on an everyday
Every
basis. Yeah, she just
and
picks
that
up
too
children
every day.
every day from the most underprivileged parts of Mumbai, and she picks them up and she educates them in the most progressive tools that I've not seen even in my school or any of the schools that I've seen. Like it's fantastic, and
Wow.
yeah, and you know what education can do if one child
Exactly.
learns in a family, right? It can transform a family, it can transform a society. So yeah, that is one story, and there's so many like that. There's a doctor in Karnataka who gives free treatment for 2,000 to 3,000 people every Sunday. Free treatment. It's like There's Apple stores where
Wow.
people queue up from the previous night. At the patients come from all across South India. They queue up from 2 in the night, the previous night, and they stand in massive queues for hours
Wow.
to just get themselves treated from that doctor. And he's a leading cardiologist. Okay, so we just really think like, if one person can do so much, how much governments can change. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
This actually makes us believe that there are more kind people. There are more, such amazing people in the world, and especially in India, and we just don't recognize most of it because we're so busy in our everyday lives. We're so
yeah,
busy, just ratting around in the race. So
yeah,
that is
yeah.
one thing, which your page has, truly done to me personally. So
Thank
I
you.
see stories and I am so impressed. I'm like, there are so many people around and they're so good and they're so kind and amazing. So
Yeah,
yeah, that is one impact you've, made on me. I am sure you're doing it to the entire audience who is watching it.
thank you.
So you're doing a fantastic job here.
Thank you, Asta. Thank you. That means a lot. Even if it's one person, it means a lot to
Yeah.
me as a creator. Thank you so much.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Yep.
Who is your biggest inspiration in this industry? And what do you feel? Is it worth being a storyteller in 2021, considering every, now and then content which you see?
Oh, what? I love your questions. No, number one is inspiration, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I told you, one is Nastali. The other, of course, the forefather of storytelling, David Attenborough. He's incredible. He has the best shows in the world. And you have this guy called Yusuf Omar. Okay, you should check him out. He's on
Okay.
Snapchat and he's on Facebook. He has this incredible page called Hashtag Our Stories. He sheds light on the most incredible stories from all over the world. His name is Yusuf Omar. His page is called Hashtag Our Stories. You guys know Nas Daily. You guys know David
Yeah.
Attenborough. And then there's another guy called Johnny Harris. Yeah, you should check him out as well. He works for this
Okay.
company called Vox, WOX. Now I think he's independent. He's called
Mhm.
Johnny Harris. Yeah, you can check him out on YouTube. Yeah, these are the people that I live by. I'm just like, wow, yeah, these are the people I
Yeah.
aspire to be and who inspire me every day. Yeah.
That's fantastic. And like my
Yeah.
second question,
Yeah. What was your second question? Sorry, I forgot.
it was, what do you feel? Is it worth being a storyteller in 2021, considering the entire crowd and everything that follows?
Yeah, it can be very noisy and saturating. You have
Yeah,
such, I'm going to say it as it, how I feel it. You have such a ridiculous content that people watch, and it's
exactly.
disappointing and putting off. Like the masses are just want to watch mindless content that adds no value or meaning. It's disappointing, but that's the reflection of the world we live in, right?
Yeah,
Most of the people like that kind of stuff. They dig that kind of content. So I can't be as a creator. I can't be like, that's not work. That's not what you're supposed to do. I'm no judge of that. But
yeah,
people want to watch that. So no, it's my job and responsibility as a creator as well to change my creativity and my process in a way and my storytelling in a way that I get the mass audiences as well as deliver my message at the same time. So I'm having struggles bridging that gap. Yeah, I mean, we all go through that. A lot of content creators
yeah,
who add a lot of meaning to their audiences get overshadowed by utter bullshit on social media. But it is what it is. But at the same time, you
yeah,
also have people like Nas Daily who reach to 40 million people, 50 million people. So,
exactly.
so
So
I'm
that
just
keeps
like,
you
if
going.
he, yeah, if he can, even you can. As simple as that. Like, you can't be like, nobody's watching you. No, nobody's watching you because you're not making the right content.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, or you're not making it the right way. And of course, you have these factors like algorithm and stuff, which are just like crazy, which are just totally against people like you when you're going against the trend. Doesn't work in your favor at all. So those things you can really question. Like, are platforms really doing enough to make sure that the right kind of content is going out to the crowd, or
Yeah.
are they just sending out wrong messages for the world? I'm not sure.
So how do you cope up with that? Like when you have that moment of,
Hmm.
disappointment sometimes and you watch and research. So how do you cope up with, that situation? How do you like, uplift yourself at that particular time?
uh, I maintain the mindset that even if there are one person or even if there are 1,000 people watching it, it still matters. Like, yeah, do it for the audience that believes in you and that trusts in you, and do it for the people who watch you. And hopefully, it'll become exponential. It'll multiply over a period of time. But
Yeah.
keep at it, and don't lose hope, and do it because you love to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, this is some inspiration which I think my audience here is, should grab upon, because there are so
Nice.
many people who are trying so hard. I know
Yeah.
personally know a lot of people who are trying so hard, and they feel disappointed, they leave. I think the major factor here is consistency, which you were talking about, right? So
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
whatever you said, I think people should draw inspiration from here, and please take notes.
I hope so. I'm hoping to build my audience as well and make it larger because I want these stories to reach the people more than me getting anywhere. It's about these stories. I mean, it
Yeah,
can
I'm
really
sure you're
inspire a
gonna do great
generation.
because
Thank
it's
you.
making an impact already.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So, how do you manage your travel, work, family, and exactly what are your future goals when you talk about this?
So I have like some freelance jobs that I do. I work for the NAS Academy.
Okay.
So that's a part-time job, but that pays very well right now. It's something I started only 2 months ago, and it's good money
Okay.
because they pay in dollars. And I do freelance work other ways. I work for the World Wildlife Fund. I make videos for them. I make videos for other people who ask me to make videos for them, and I charge pretty well. I'll be honest with you. And so opportunities are slowly growing, and I travel a hell a lot. There's no doubt about it. The last few months, it's deteriorated to a large extent because of these freelance jobs and the NAS Academy job that I've been busy with. But otherwise, I travel a lot, and I do all of it on the run. I stay in hotels. I travel in public transport because my budget is limited, and I edit in my hotel rooms. I write my scripts while I'm traveling. It's a real struggle. Yeah. I wanted to
But
sound
you
it tough
enjoy
because it is tough. Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So how I
Definitely.
balance, I don't know if I'm balancing. I mean, I do what I do. I mean, what would
Yeah,
balance
because
mean?
see, when you're passionate, when you're so passionate about something, then you lose track sometimes. That's totally understandable. So
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
understand what you're saying here.
I
Yeah.
get my fair share of hanging out with my friends. I do that a lot. I get my fair
Okay.
share of hanging out with my family. I get my fair share of doing a lot of fitness. I get my fair share of partying, drinking. I do all of that as well. I do a lot of reading as well. So no complaints. I try to balance as much as possible. Of course, I do more work than I do the rest of it. There's no question about that. Yeah.
That's fantastic. So, this is just a question that came in, and if you talk about entire India, what particular place or region can you say that you had, it's your most favorite place, and you had the most fantastic story there?
So I can't choose a place like that, but I'll probably tell you a few favorite stories, right? Uh, Maybe if I have to sum it up in the larger picture, Meghalaya for sure. It's a phenomenal state, and Kerala, yeah. Oh man, yeah. If you really explore Kerala, it's a fantastic state. They're so progressive. It's they have great ideas. They have great communities. They're so way ahead than most parts of India. A lot of people tend to overlook it because the government is very different there. But the truth is, the people are, and the system there is way more ahead of most of the states in India. And of course, Meghalaya as well. Man, the landscape there, the mountains, it's therapy. It's therapy. Like it's crazy.
So
Yeah.
good.
So the top two would be Meghalaya and Kerala.
Okay, well, while
Shankar.
we
Yeah.
are talking
Yeah.
about mountains, you just mentioned mountains, so I wanted to bring to your notice that even I am hosting this podcast from Nainital, Uttarakhand. It's beautiful. It's a hill station if you've heard of it.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm there. Anyway, being
I'm
such
waiting
a
to come to
fantastic.
Uttarakhand. I'm waiting to come to Uttarakhand. I love that
Okay.
state.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So being such a fantastic influencer, or you'll say journalist that you are, how do you keep up with the crowd? Like, there must be so many girls approaching you. As I too was quite impressed with your work. So how do you cope up with that?
No. I just get very sweet messages. They're always telling me stuff like, "Wow, it's so inspiring," and it's always sweet. Keep going. And a lot of people send messages, very motivational messages, and they got really nice, sweet messages. There are no dirty messages until now. some have called me like Sasta Nas Daily. I hear all of that as well, but I find it really funny. Yeah.
How do you deal with these critics anyway?
I mean, I can't do more. Like, I know that I'm trying to put out so much positivity and such great stories. If that is a
Yeah.
problem for you, then I don't know what else would you'd be satisfied by. So I'm always like, I cannot do more. This is the most positivity I can put out. Like, if you have a problem with me, that means you're going to have a problem with the majority of how the world functions. So I'm not dealing with you.
Really nice
Yeah.
way to deal with people who are
Yeah.
critics. Anyway, I'm just seeing questions here. I'll just
Yeah.
ask you a few questions from the audience. And the first question is, do you ever create fiction stories, or should they be built on a real event? Would it be morally wrong to make up a story?
Let me read that again. Do you ever create fiction stories, or should they be built on a real event? Would it be more? Absolutely not. Like, you can make stories of any kind, but yeah, I would suggest like make it for the good and make it to inspire and have an impact or inform people. You can talk about climate change by making up a fiction story. That's completely fine. It's up to you as a creator. If you can deliver a good message, if you can deliver good emotions and make the viewers feel good through your story, you can do it however you want to. There's no borders for storytelling. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really nice answer though. Anyway, we have another question as well. And
Yeah.
that is, from where you get the idea or motivation for making these videos?
Okay, good question. So most of these ideas are simply borrowed, right? Meaning, like, I do not come up with these ideas. These are stories of real-time people, right? So these are not my ideas. The direction is mine, the production is mine, the way I say it in mine. But the story ideas are stuff that already exists. They are original people, they are original villages, they are original ideas. I just go and tell their stories. So yeah, and I have a good network. I was a journalist in my previous life, if I have to call it like that. And
Okay.
I have a good network of journalists across the country. I network a lot. I'm always networking in order to get stories, in order to get more audiences. So I reach out to local journalists. If I'm going to Uttarakhand, I would reach out to a journalist I know as someone like Asta, and I would be like, connect to me to some journalists who know, who have a better idea about the local stories and the indigenous stories
Yeah.
there. So they connect me to those local stories. So I find journalists like these in individual cities, individual villages, in particular states, and then I track them down. It's a lot of work. And they find me stories, and then they give me contacts, and then I call them up and I tell them that I want to do a video on you. So that is one way. That is one channel. The other channel is that I research a lot on the internet. We all know how the internet is a gold mine. If you
Impactful.
read a lot,
Yeah.
you can find so many stories on the internet. So you do a lot of research. You find these websites that nobody read, which works in my
Yeah.
favor. So that is the second channel, and the third channel is people tell me stories. When I go film a story, say in Kerala, and that person will be like, "Oh, there's another person like me in this part of Kerala. You can go and film it." So I pick up stories on the way as well. So these three channels. On the
But
way,
this is such a great way to connect with people. I am literally baffled here. I'm so impressed. Seriously, I'm taking notes. I'm taking mind notes right now because I can't take it physically here, but I am taking mind notes, and I suggest everyone in the audience to do that as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Anyway,
lot of
we
hard
have
work.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have just one last
Go on.
question, and that is, how do you plan on meeting Nash? Like, if it would be, for the first time, what would you ask?
So since we've worked together now, I've already met him a lot of times virtually.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a great guy. He's as good as how he comes across. Yeah, we've been friends for a year. He's amazing. I work in his team. His vision is phenomenal, as you already know it. I'm a consequence
Yeah.
of a story like Nas Daily. So there are so many consequences like me across the world. He's planted seeds of good storytellers across the world, and all of those storytellers are also my colleagues in
Wow.
the NAS community. Like he's amazing, and yeah, you just ask him how did he do what he did. Like, it's impossible. So yeah, and he traveled the world and he put up a video every single day for 1,000 days. It's an
Yeah.
inhumane task. So that takes a great degree of human human achievement. That's yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Okay, we have
What?
just one last question. I'm so sorry, I'm taking up a lot
No,
of
no, no,
time
no,
here.
no. Don't worry about it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
but
enjoying this. I'm enjoying this.
that's nice. So we have just one last question, I believe. It's what are your views on beer biceps?
View biceps is
I
Ranveer Ahluwalia, right?
Alabadia. Yeah, Ranveer
Yeah,
Alabadia.
yeah. He's good. He puts out some positive content. I like that. Most of it is very life based and very his life experience based. And I think it's always good to share your own story when it's so powerful. People will learn from it and people will feel
Yeah,
inspired by it. I like some of his interviews as well. Yeah, I like some of his interviews as well. Some of his podcasts are good. Some of his, I like how he picks people from across the alley. Like it's not just celebrities; it's celebrities of all
yeah,
kinds. Even though it's just celebrities, I have a problem with celebrities. Like I just feel like we already know so much about them. Like why are you interviewing them over and over again? But then he does it for people of different genres. Like he calls on gurus, he calls on adventurous people. So I like that.
that's nice. The diversity is really good there.
Yeah, it's not just not the bullshit celebs always. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, so I think we are done with the questions also. So yeah,
Okay.
let's wrap it up. And thank you so much, Sai. It was really one of the best podcasts I've had till now,
That's
And
awesome.
thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining in Witera and sparing your precious time. And we are really, really grateful. Thank you so much to the audience for being with us till the end. And stay tuned. Watch his content on Instagram. He is really fantastic. I'm not just bragging, but yeah, he's actually good.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you.
and please stay tuned. We'll be coming up with more. And thank you so much. So yeah, thank you so much, Sai.
Yeah, thank you so much. Your team is so vibrant and young. I like your spirit. I like your vision. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sai.
Thank you. I'm leaving, okay?
On a new adventure. Let me go, it's my time. Watch me build another life. Find another space. Explore the world and find my place. Hope you find some peace of mind. Hope the night was worth your time. Threw my heart away. We won't see another day. We both know the score. We've been here once before. So many words unspoken. You took my heart, it's already broken. You don't have to wait. I can take the pain. I will surrender. Let me go. It's a new adventure. On a new adventure. You'll find me dancing on my own. Nowhere to be, nowhere to go. In the rhythm, I don't think of you. Don't call me up when you're feeling blue. You'll find me dancing on my own. Nowhere to be, nowhere to go. In the rhythm, I don't think of you. Let me go. It's a new adventure. On the new adventure.